Hello student, today I am taking class 8 social science history chapter 4 tribals, Dikus and the vision of a golden age. My dear student, as we know, our freedom fighters, they had done too much effort to get the freedom. Here we are going to study about the tribals community, how they shared, how they done the freedom from these colonial rulers. So we will study the details about it. What we will study today, how did the tribal groups live earlier, and then what is called jhum cultivators, hunters and gatherers, herded animals, settled cultivation. How the tribal's life will be affected by the colonial rulers. What happened to these tribal chiefs, then what happened to the shifting cultivators, forest loss and their impact on the life of tribal peoples, and what type of problem they face with the trade. And in the last, a closer look on rebels and by the tribal groups and Birsa Munda. Now, as you know, in 1895, a man named, his name was Birsa, was seen, he was roaming the forests and villages of near Chota Nagpur in Bihar. And people said he had miraculous power, means he could cure all the type of diseases and multiply the grains. This they are thinking. Now, Birsa himself, he declared that God had appointed him to save his people from trouble, free them from the slaveries of Dikus, means outsiders. And soon the thousand begins, so many thousand people, they started following Birsa. Why? Because he believed that he was, what the people are thinking, why they started follow? Because he was Bhagwan, means God, and had come. He came here to solve all their problems which they are facing. That is why. Now, Birsa, he was born in a family of Mundas, a tribal groups that lived near Chota Nagpur. Now, but his followers included other tribal regions also, like Santhals and Orions. All of them in different ways. So many were unhappy. Why? Because with the changes they were experiencing, some changes and the problems they are facing under the British rule. Earlier they are living freely, happy, but what happened when the British enters in the country and they started rules, they started they had developed some rules in the forests, and then these tribal peoples, their life affected. So their families' ways of life seem to be disappearing. Earlier they lived, that will be changed. Their livelihood was under threat and their religious appeared to be danger. That is why these peoples were feared. Now, see, what problems did Birsa set up to resolve? What he done? Next question, what we study here, who were the outsiders being referred as we call Dikus, and how did they enslave these people of the region, means how they forced to do the work under them, and what was happening to these tribal peoples under the British, how did their lives change, how the tribals customs and rituals different. So all these questions we will study now. See, the tribal customs and rituals were different from those of the caste like Hindus, they laid down by the Brahmins. Unlike the caste societies, the societies of tribals did not have the sharp social division, only little bit. So those who belong to the same tribe, they shared some common ties of kinship like family of ancestors, they follow that, but this did not mean that there were no social and economic difference within tribes. Now you see, how did the tribal groups live, how they are living? See, by the 19th century, tribal groups in different parts of the India, mostly they were involved in different type of activities, mostly the activities like jhum cultivators, some are hunters and gatherers, and some are herded animals, and some are settled cultivation. So in this way you see they are involved in different type of activities, jhum cultivators, hunters, gatherers, herded animals and settled cultivators. Now, jhum cultivators, what they are doing? See, some tribal groups, mostly they were engaged in jhum cultivation, or we call in simple language shifting cultivation. Means this was done on the small patches of land, mostly in forest. What they are doing? These groups are moving in the forest, and they are some selecting part, they are cutting this forest and burn land after they change into land, and there they starting agriculture. So these cultivators, they burn the vegetations and then spread the ash from the firing. Why they spread the ash? Because they are thinking these contain potash and it will fertile the soil. After that they use some equipments like axe and hoe, and they are preparing the soil for cultivations. Instead of plugging the land and sowing seeds, what they are doing? They broadcast, means they are spreading the seed like this and scatter the seeds on the field. In this way they are doing cultivation. Now, once the crop was ready and it is a time to harvest it, when they harvest these crops, they move to another field. Do you know, mostly they are doing agriculture only for 3-4 years. After that, when the fertility will reduce, they started moving to other place. A field that had been cultivated once, they let fallow for several years. Why? Because they are thinking when they leave this soil for so many years, again it will be refill the fertility. So the shifting cultivators were found mostly in where we can see these are hilly and forested tracts of northern and central India. Next, who are called hunters and gatherers. Now tribal peoples like Konds, mostly they are living in Odisha. Bagas, they are of central India. Hunted animals, why they are hunted animals? For food, and they gathered some forest material produced like sal and mahua seeds. For why? They are using for extracting oil. They are taking the oil for sal, and now shrubs and herbs for making medicines, and flowers to make dyes for the cloths and coloring leathers, fruits and roots for food. So in this way they are doing these activities. At other time, they bought goods with small amount of earning they had, and some of them they are doing some other jobs or jobs in the village, like they are carrying loads or they are busy on building roads, while others works as a labor in the field of patience and farmer. When supplies of the forest produces strength, now tribal peoples had to increasingly wander around to search of the work, because now all will be under their control for work. So dignity of the beggar, now it become laborer, it will be changed. Under the British rule, forests were taken over, and now from the tribal groups it was under the Britishers' rules. So tribals face so many problems. Now problems appears like they are getting supplies or finding works. Thus they started resenting the British as well as the traders and money lenders, and thought that Abel means outsider, Dikus, who were the cause of their misery. So in this way, when these British rules started and the forest was taken from these tribal groups and it was under the control of the British, then their life will be suffered. Herded animal groups. See, several tribal groups were engaged in the herding and rearing animals, and they were pastoralists, means they are moving from one place to another. Mostly they move with the herds of cattle and sheep according to the seasons, when the grass in one place was exhausted. So they have to feed their animals, so they are start moving from the other place to search of good pasturing lands. So they move to another area. See, the Van Gujars of Punjab hills and Labadis of Andhra Pradesh were cattle herders, and the Gadi shepherds of Kulu and Gujar Bakarwas of Kashmir, they reared goats and sheep. Do you know, when the greenery will be disappear, so they started moving down where they can get too much grazing land for their animals. So that is why they are moving from one place to another. Some took settled cultivation. Now, several tribal groups we had already studied doing other activity. Some of the groups prefer to settle down instead of moving from one place to another. So they began to use this. When they settled, so what they done, they started using the land, they started plugging, and they gradually got rights over the land, and they lived on. So the British officials found the settled tribal groups like the Gonds and the Santhals and more civilized. They are more civilized than these hunters, gatherers and shifting cultivators. So those who lived in the forest were considered as, they are thinking they are wild and savage, means they need to be settled and civilized. These are the thinkings of the peoples. Now, question come, how did colonial rules affect the tribal lives and the lives of tribal groups, how they change when the British rule was started? See, effect on tribal chief. First, the tribal chief were considered as important people because they controlled whole tribal territories before the arrival of the British. So they had their own police during that time, and they decided the local rulers and forest management. So in this way they solved all the problems. But under the British rules, what happened? They lost their administrative power and they were forced to follow those laws which is made by the British officials in India. So they lost the authorities and they had earlier enjoyed, and the peoples, they were unable to fulfill their traditional functions. So they were forced. Now British officials, they started forcing them to pay tribute to the British, and the discipline of tribal groups on the behalf of British, means whatever the British colonial officials will give instruction, that all have to be followed. Now, effect of shifting cultivators. What happened after these colonial? The British never killed those tribal groups who moved about and did not have fixed home. No, they wanted the tribal groups to be settled down and become patient cultivators. So settled patients were easier to control because it was very difficult for them, because they are not living in one place, they are moving. So it was difficult for them to how to control these groups of the people. So they want to make them settled cultivators. So settled patients were easy because it was easy to control them and administer these peoples who are always on the move. So the British, they want to control. So what type of law they introduce? So the British introduced land settlement to earn regular for such settlement cultivators. Although this not succeeded, no, they are not succeeded areas with dry soils and poor water availability, that is it. So British effort to settle, what they done, they put effort to settle jhum cultivators, was not very successful. So in the northeast you can see jhum cultivation continued because it is not controlled by them, facing widespread protests. And now so many people started protest against this. So the British had to allow them. So what they done? They have done the allow them to right to carry on shifting cultivation. Next, what about this? Now when they introduce forest law, so what will be impact on the life of these tribal people? See this. The British brought several changes in the forest laws, and these affected the tribal lives. How? See, the British extended the control over all forests, and they declared the forests were the state property. It is not any tribal properties. Now, some forests were classified as reserve forests, for they produce. Why they had made some reserve? Because they want to produce the timber. And during that time British wanted this timber for the constructions of railways and other things. That is why it was big demand of timber in the British. Next, in the reserve forest you see the peoples were not allowed to move freely. Now practice of jhum cultivation, collect of fruits or hunt animals, now it will be stopped. As a result, several jhum cultivators, they moved to other areas. Now the British face a problem of shortage of labor. After this, forest village were established around the forest department. Many tribal groups, they reacted. Can they accept it? No. They reacted against this colonial forest laws. They disobeyed the new rules, continued with the practices and that were declared illegal, and at that time rose in open rebellions, such as revolt done. Where the revolt will be started, it was Songram Sangama, that is in 1906 in Assam, and Forest Satyagraha of the 1930s in the central provinces. So these type of revolt will be started. What is the problem with the trade? During 19th century, the tribal groups found the traders, those were the traders and the money lenders were coming into the forest, and they offered, so what they done? They offered the cash loan to these tribal peoples and asked them to work for wages. Silk growers, what is the condition? See, in the 18th century, do you know Indian silk was in great demand in European market. Hence, so the East India Company officially tried to encourage the silk production and to make the growing demands. What they done? So during that time, do you know the Santhal groups, they reared cocoons of silk in Hazaribagh, and now it is present day called Jharkhand. So the silk traders, what they done? They started send their agents who gave loans to these tribal peoples, and they started collecting the cocoons. Now the growers were paid, do you know how much they are getting? Only 3 to 4 rupees of 1000 cocoons. So in this way they exploited these groups of the peoples, and these were then exported. Where they exported? To Budwan or Gaya, from where they sold to 5 times more than the price. And thus what you have seen, the silk growers, they earned very little. So traders made huge profit by this, because the middlemen are getting too much profit, and between the tribals and the market. Thus many tribal groups saw that the market and the traders were their main enemies, so they refused to give this. Next one, when we see the closer look on the rebels by the tribal groups. The tribal groups in different parts of the country, you can see, rebelled against the changes in laws. The restrictions on their practices means what type of effect by these law? Practices, it will be restricted. New taxes they had to pay. Then they are exploiting by the traders and the money lenders, and the coals rebel. Due to this, coal groups, they rebelled on 1831-32. Santhals, they then revolt in 1855, and the Bastar rebellions in the central India, even they broke out in 1910, and the Warli revolt in Maharashtra in 1940. So the movement that Birsa led was one such movement, and it was very successful during that time. Now Birsa Munda, as you know, Birsa was born in 1870 into poor family, and his father had to move from place to place looking for the work due to poverty. And Birsa heard people recounting the Munda uprising of the past, and they talked of the golden age before the Dikus, means the outsider entered in India. They came and how they need to win back their, so what is thinking, I have to bring all the rights of my ancestral themselves. We will not allow any outsider will enter in the place. So Birsa turned to religion, both Christianity and Hinduism, and to gain inspiration, and in this way aimed his movement toward reforming again the tribal society that were lost by urging. So what he done, he encouraged the tribesmen to give up drinking liquors, keeping their village clean, stop believing the witchcraft and the Sri. So in this he wanted, why he had done this? Because he wanted the people to once again work on their land. They return back, settle down, and all they will start cultivated their fields. As the Birsa movement spread, so what happened? The Britishers started arresting. British arrested him in 1895, convicted him for riot and jailed for the 2 years. After being released from the jail, in 1897, he formed a revolt with tribal attacking and raiding police stations and churches, as well as the properties. He destroyed the properties with the groups Jamindars and moneylenders. And finally, they raised the white flag symbolizing Birsa Raj. Now, Birsa movement faded out. How it will be faded? When he died of cholera in year 1900. But it forced the British to amend the laws to prevent tribals and being easily taken away from them. So you have seen how the tribal groups of the peoples, they also revolt under the British rule, and you have seen the results. So now we will see some questions here. Next, see. Find out whether the conditions of work in the mines have changed now. Check how many people die in mines every year. What are the reasons for the death? Now, so many people, laborers and so many workers are engaged in the mines. What are their conditions? How they will die? See, conditions of workers in the mines have changed now, but still there are accidents, but less. Earlier it was true because they are having less type of technology, but it is now less. Many miners die every year. The main reason, what are the main reason? Because under the mine, flooding of coal mines, second one, caving with mine walls, breaking out fire in the mines, second one. What problem did shifting cultivations under British rules? The problem they faced by shifting cultivators under the British rule. First, life of shifting cultivators were directly connected to forests. So when the British brought the change in the forest, their life was badly affected. So now today I finished this topic. Thank you.